So we've always told him, you can't play sports. No, you just need to stay on Special Olympics because because he doesn't get it either. To him, if you're down, don't move your arms, don't move your legs, just stay there.
So he plays through the whistle.
Yeah. Like, I tell you what, hey, go ahead, send him to www.belfaircountypatriots.com. We'll go ahead and get him going.
He's good at the whole, but until that one part that he becomes the referee and the player and all that at the same time. Okay, along with some of the parts of coaching, you two and all the other coaches, you all had to play other roles that when you went into it, you might have known you might have to, but you didn't realize that sometimes it would almost overshadow you being a coach because you have to be someone else.
Right.
So what happened? Who else have you had to play, to become to?
Oh, the biggest part is being counselor and mentor and sometimes referee. Because what a lot of people forget is kids have lives too. They have identities. They have, they have issues they're going through, whether it be, hey, coach, I'm slipping in this class and I don't understand. I go to tutoring, or hey, coach, I'm a little bit different socially, and I don't know how to talk to my parents about it, or I just don't want to tell my parents.
Right.
We play that role. And sometimes it's giving them hope. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to one of my players that's graduating this year, and she was telling some of the younger players on the team that in 8th grade, she never thought about going to college. But because I showed up at her doorstep once she got to high school in 9th grade and cursed her out around Christmas time because her grades were slipping, and she that meant a lot to her.
Right. Because
somebody outside her family was like, hey, you going to college, you can do this, this, that, and the other. And she's been on her roll ever since.
That's good. That's good. Okay, Coach Jenkins?
Yeah. So, there's several roles that that we play. And Coach, like Coach said, I can't really define one. I kind of see it as, mom, dad, uncle, brother, the guy that the kid hates. You just play different roles at different times. Some of the ones that stand out to me, for instance, about 4 years ago, and it's really what woke me up and said, okay, I kind of knew why I was doing it. I knew why I was doing it, but it really hit home, So we were at practice one time and, we had just started, and I used to always take off my sandals. Like, I'm just a country boy. I used to run in my socks or just barefoot sometimes in the grass. And that's like the way it feels on my feet. And so I would always do that at practice. Well, I noticed there was this young boy that was doing the same thing. And so finally, when I caught on to it, I stopped him. I said, why are you doing that? I said, put your shoes back on. Where your cleats at? And so he looked at me and said, Coach, I don't have any cleats. Now, I felt bad as a coach because we had been practicing about 3 weeks and I didn't even notice that. But he said, I don't have any cleats. And so when I looked at his socks, his socks had holes in them. I said, where are your shoes at? So I went to his shoes. Shoes had holes in it. And so that year we used to purchase cleats for our athletes. I walked them over, got them some cleats, and that kid was just a totally different kid going forward. Another instance, I've had where some of the players that I've coached, mom or dad says, hey man, I need you right now. We're going through some things. Can you keep my son? And so, I've had to have kids at my house, for the weekend, just to get them out of bad situations. So, it's just, I don't think there's really any one role. You just kind of accept the role that you're just family. Whatever role that is, whether it's mom, dad, brother, sister, just whatever, you just play a role. So, I know it's kind of elongated right now, but there's no specific role when it comes to my situation. It's just, you just fill in and just be there as a family member in any way possible. Just make sure that the child is going to be okay.
Okay. Now, what about parents? Because sometimes parents can be
Oh,
or
man.
trying?
Now, that's the question. That's the smack in the face question right there. The first one you asked wasn't a smack in the face question.
I don't know if we need to answer that one on there.
But
No,
what I
but
mean is,
seriously.
okay, right now, what would you tell the parents that talk you'd have with them? What would you tell them when they signed their kids up? What you gonna tell them?
Well,
Go ahead, Coach. I'm telling you, I can really go in on this one, guys.
see, he deals with football. I deal with basketball.
Okay.
And to be honest with you,
Right.
I've been blessed with parents that police each other up. You know, when they come in, like coming from KPR ball to travel basketball, it's a completely different world because KPR ball, you know, they're learning. Travel basketball, they're getting fouled, this, that, and the other. So you're really trying to tell the parents, like, hey, you know, stay in your lane, let the refs do their job, don't talk to the ref, it hurts the kids or whatever. And then I tell them up front, before the game, I really don't talk to parents. After the game, I really don't talk to parents because I'm in a zone.
You're in another mode, yeah.
And my parents, they understand. We get to the hotel. They, hey, coach, how you doing? I'm good by the time we get to the hotel. So I hadn't had that terrible parent experience that coach is about to go in on, but I've seen them.
Okay.
But we set the tone when they come in.
Okay.
And I say we because it's the parents that are around me that's been with me a while that they make it a whole lot easier than when I first started.
Okay.
Because I've been blessed with a great group of parents. That's all I can say.
Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Hold on, let me get my 50 cal ready. No, seriously though, I mean, listen, you know, I say that in all fun. I mean, like I said, we've been doing this about 8 years.
Yeah.
Overall, I've had a great group of parents, very supportive. There are just those few that really can make things hard. And you know, I don't think a lot of times the parents understand what it actually takes to run something like we do.
Right.
You know, from the basketball side of the house, respect Coach what he's doing. You know, his groups are a little smaller. Whereas, you know, I just had a registration and I'm about to have a parent meeting on Monday where I have almost 180 new kids coming in. And so when you have that many kids, you can imagine that, you know, double that is the amount of parents that you have to deal with. And of course, you know, the biggest thing is just, you know, I would say I like for parents to just be understanding. Things are going to happen.
Right.
Everything is not going to go perfect. We're going to make mistakes because it's just a lot of moving pieces to these travel programs. And as long as you have parents that are like that, it tends to not be an issue. The biggest issue come in is when, you know, I tell them, you know, like Coach said, we set the tone from the beginning. Listen, football practice Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's not a free babysitting service, okay? You need to be out there and watching your kid because when it comes to game time and you wonder why your child is not playing,
right.
Well, if you were at practice, you would probably understand why they're not because they're probably not tracking on something, or they may have done something in school, they may have done something in practice. You know, just the parents are good overall. You know, so I don't want to make they're not bad.
Right.
95% of my parents are good, but there is just those 2 to 5% that can just make things very bad because that one person says one thing and then it just spreads like wildfire. And then I say as long as, you know, we're just communicating with our parents, you know, it makes life easy, but it does get hard because we don't get paid to do this. You know, we're strictly nonprofit, and when we're trying to operate it like a business, we still have lives. You know, I have a wife and 4 kids in my house. You know, I work a full-time job. I'm doing the same thing that these parents are doing. This is what I love to do, you know. And so I think just the biggest thing is the biggest problem that comes in with parents is just some of them not trying to be understanding. They want what they want when they want it because they paid $200 to play. This is what it's going to be. And you're not going to tell me anything otherwise. It's all about my kid. But generally, after about the first month or two, they kind of see how things are going to go. This is how we do business. We're a family here. It's tight-knit. but usually by that time as well, those that kind of still have that mindset, they get weeded out of the process pretty quick. And I don't have a problem doing that because I'm not going to, our season goes all the way until November, December. And, we start practice April 3rd. So you look at how many months it is. That's 8 months that we're going to spend together. We don't have time for drama.
Right. Okay, I have a question of why I want to know, can something be done? Because I'm going to step on the other side to parents that don't know you all exist. And the only reason I know that some of you exist is because I'm in the community and I meet people. And when I do meet people who do things, I'm like, yeah, come on my show and talk about it. So I'm going to step in and become one of the parents who don't know, because I can slide into that area too, because I don't know. Is there ever a time, and so the answer to that really is no. So, I'll ask the question that can say yes. When will you all the coaches of children, of youth, come together and host, I'll say, open event where you're not playing, but you're just hosting an open event with, with all your tables and all your chairs around, explaining to parents open day, I guess, I'll say, to say that I'm the coach of this is what we do, I coach this is what we do, and have a round table where parents can actually come and see you all of you. And you put it in the newspaper, you put it on social media and everything like that, so that parents can actually come around the table and see that we didn't know any of you exist, but have you all there. The basketball, football, I don't know if there's a baseball.
There's baseball and softball. See,
there you go. So is there a time that you all can actually sit down, plan this, you know what I mean, where you all are in one place? And I know your times that you play sports are different. I don't know none of those times, but anyway, I know that there are times, seasons when everybody has one. I know nothing about none of that. But is there a time that you all can just come together and say, bam, this is who we are?
Right.
We could do that anytime everybody wants to stop stepping on each other.
Suppose I do an all call and I say come. Will that work? Because I don't.
Well, let me kind of. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, I need my soapbox in. Okay.
Go ahead, get your soapbox, coach.
Okay. So, I mean, we somewhat do that because I don't know if you know Tita Capito from My Tutor and More. She actually hosts an event each August.
Right.
Where basically, all organizations come out. You can sell water. They have the big jumpy house come out.
Right.
It's basically any organization. So we try to do it that way. In my opinion, and I can only speak from the football side of the house, in my opinion, that is something that, all of us owners, because there's a lot of travel, youth football travel organizations in Killeen. I know all of them. We all know each other. We've all either coached together, or I beat them, or they beat me, or I coach their son, or they coach my son. I mean, we all know each other. It's just the biggest issue is, at the end of the day, like Coach said, it's all about getting them scholarships, helping them get scholarships once they get ready to leave high school. That is where I stand. I mean, I've even come in to the point and said, well, there's too many teams here. Let's take it down to 2 or 3. I'm willing to kill my brand, build with somebody else. That way we make stronger organizations and we help the kids more as a whole. It's just spread very thin. And I'm not saying this as a personal shot against any organization in Killeen.
Right.
But in my opinion, we've been around 8 years. Most of the organizations have been around anywhere from 2 to 4 years, other than Showtime Elite, and I think Killeen Cove Chiefs. They've been around a little while too, and Killeen Cowboys. But for the most part, most of the organizations have been in existence since 5 years on. And so there's just a lot of, I don't want to say it's the owners, but there's just a lot of personal agenda. And so I think that's what we have to figure out first is, what is your agenda behind doing this? If it's truly for the kids, then it should not be an issue, because I work with, Killeen Trojans. They branched off of me. I work with them. I work with Harker Heights Unite. Killeen Cove Chiefs, I know Dale Cedar over there. Coach Will. So as far as when it comes from me, I have no problem saying, hey, let's meet up, let's do this. And those guys will probably be supportive. It really just all depends on who you approach with it, because we have tried that and there was little to no participation. Now, what we have done, we've come together and we started attending the school board meetings. You know, us, the Raptors, the Cowboys, the Trojans, you know, so I see what you want to do, but I'm saying, you know, we've tried that, and honestly, I've just gotten tired of running, you know, beating my head into a wall.
I'll say this. You tried it, but I haven't.
Okay.
And I'll put
I'm all for it. You have my full support.
But hold up. Okay, for the, not for the local, but for the state NAACP, I'm the state education chair. So I kind of do what I want to do as far as education. And sports is also education. Now, we're having a state convention here in Killeen, October 12th, 13th, and 14th, yes. And, well, first of all, we're going to have a tournament, a basketball tournament. That's number one. Our health chair wants to host one. But I can host a meet and greet for all the coaches. And it's not held by the coaches, it's held by me. So I have no vested interest in any of these sports because I'm the anti-sports person. And that would be me. I'm the. I am
no, you
totally,
need one of them on your team. You need one of them on your team.
I am not. You give me riding a horse, but I'm not. And it's good that I'm not. It doesn't bother me none. And in fact, if I had to watch sports, I'm a hockey fan. I like Red Wing hockey. I'm a hockey
Because she's from up north, I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, hockey? I was like, yes.
I'm a hockey freak. Okay, I like hockey. I watch that. But I'm going to host it, and I'm going to get the word out. And I can also do two things. Because I surely will talk about those who didn't show. And I can do that because it's me. I don't care. I don't mind stepping on people's toes.
That's why we're friends.
I really want to step on them till you say ouch. And then when you say ouch, I'm gonna ask you why. Because I'm given the platform, I'm given opportunity. So all they gotta do is show.
Well, my only issue with that, and sorry, Coach, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You just have to remember that October, that's in the heat of football season.
I got you.
Yeah. So as long as we can work around that.
It's gonna be a day, but I understand what you're saying.
And the whole issue with it is, and you asked a valid question, is why can't we all get together? And it's like Coach said, it's basically because we all say we have the same goal, but I might have did something to piss you off 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah, you got this 10-year grudge. And
then it's like, well, I can do it better than he can. Well, I'm just straight out jealous of you. It's just that simple. And it's like we all volunteering to do this, but I can do it cheaper than you can. And then when I tell the truth as to why you can do it cheaper than I can, now you say I'm hating on you. And if all the coaches can put their egos aside and actually come together, like Killeen and Central Texas as a whole can come up, but because some want to get rich off the kids, some want to say, well, I did this and I made this kid and I made that kid. It's like you didn't make them, you helped develop them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I know us and the Patriots, we're pushing, yes, sports is the platform, but we're still pushing education. Right. Don't just be the player, be the owner of the team.
Right.
Don't just say, oh, I want to be rich and wait on somebody to give you something. Go establish your own business. Learn the ins and outs of everything. If you want to be an entrepreneur, be that entrepreneur, and not every program preaches that. At some, hey, you can go pro in this. I'm like, this kid is 16, 17 years old. You don't know if they're going to go pro.
That's right.
So it's like, or you got to go big D1 school, this, that, and the other, when there are plenty of other schools. So if just like you hold the candidates accountable.
Yes.
Parents should have a checklist of questions that they're holding coaches accountable. Because a lot of our kids leave the city to go play. Right. Because coaches like, yeah, we play in this tournament, we play in that tournament, we play in this tournament. And it's like, okay, you play in that tournament, but what does it benefit my kid?
Right.
And the same thing I'm sure they have going on in football, the cutthroatness. And some coaches just don't care. And you ask how do parents find out about us. Yeah. We go to the games. We go to middle school games. We go to KPR games. We go to Boys and Girls Club games. We go to high school games. And even when you go to those, you still have school coaches working against you.
Right.
Like I told you, I ain't holding no punches today. That's why the Patriots stopped at 12th grade. It's not because they don't want to continue to develop these kids on 7-on-7 or whatever. I go all the way through. We start early, we finish late. Because at the end of the day, most school coaches will tell you up front, my job is to win games. And then some of the stuff that they put the kids through, is like, if you don't play spring league, you can't make varsity. So you're holding something over their head.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't go to this team camp,
you can't do this.
And the mother with 4 kids, she said there's nothing to do in the area, but the school coaches know who we are.
They're not going to tell you.
And they're not going to tell because it's something personal. And a lot of the coaches that are doing things the right way aren't from here. But we retire here, we decide to settle here, this, that, and the other. So it's hurting the kids overall. Or the mother with 4 kids, I don't know her financial situation, and she may be like, I have 4 kids, and you charging $850 to play on your team.
Right.
Never communicating with the coaches.
Correct.
Seeing if we could work something else out, or find a sponsor, or find another way to do it.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
And with that situation, I mean, I think a lot of the responsibility also falls on the owners as well. Because it's also up to the owners. You know, I get, I respect and I agree with what Coach is saying. At the same time, the owners, they also have to have some sense of credibility on what they're doing. And so, like Coach, he could probably walk into several schools. They know who he is. They know his program. They know it's respected. Same thing with mine. I can go and talk to a coach because several of our players feed into these schools. Now, what I've found out is a lot of the coaches that may have the issues, if they have any, it's because we're taking away but not giving back, if that makes sense. And so what I've learned to start doing, hey, Ellison, you got something going on? Okay, I know I have 4 or 5 players over there. Hey, Coach, do you need us to help with your concession stands, or do you need any help with the Boost Club, or hey, y'all doing the fields or anything? You need police call or anything? You just got to do the little things. Hey, can my kids run out in the tunnel? Or, hey, we're going to come out and support you guys. I'm going to have all my kids come out in their jerseys. So they see the support, from our end. And then 9 times out of 10, it takes a little while, but then they see, okay, these guys really are supporting this. Then they come back and say, hey, man, what do you need? Now, there's still a price attached to it. There's still a price attached to it, but at least they're willing to entertain, whereas I can tell you for about the first 2 or 3 years, it was the walls were up. Nobody was trying to even hear it. So,
all right. So both your groups. Do you all do community volunteer things?
We do.
Yes.
So how much notice do you need?
How much?
For my group?
Yeah.
Please give me a month notice.
Oh man. Okay.
But since you just put us on the spot right there, and I know my parents are listening right now. What are you about to ask us?
Okay, I'm on amongst other things that I'm on the Bell County Child Welfare Board. Okay. And as you know, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. And it's also Abuse Awareness Month, period. Friday, this Friday, the 7th, at East Ward, from 4 to 7, we will have Child Abuse Awareness Day at East Ward, where we will let go the balloons for the kids who didn't make it. We'll have to do that. But we also have bounties for the kids who come. We have Child Welfare Board, naturally, we're there talking about child abuse. And we have Art there who we talk about human trafficking, because that's child abuse. And we'll have the KPD there to fingerprint the kids. And we'll be grilling, hot dogs and hamburgers for the kids and all like that. To say that, yes, do we need volunteers? Yes, because we need some volunteers to just hang out at the bounties, because, not to control the kids, but actually to have a handle on, no, you can't wear shoes in there and all like that. And we need volunteers to just be there, to just be there, and you all could be there as a form of stopping the abuse. Is what I mean, is because some abusive situations that kids are in, if they had an outlet, they might be in the outlet. And I'll say the Eastward area, where we are, I don't think they know any of you all exist. In fact, I will say they most likely don't know you exist. And whose fault is it? It's yours. I'm serious. It is. It's your fault that they don't know you exist. And also Stop the Violence will be there because I'm part of the Stop the Violence campaign. So they'll be there. So I'm offering you all, I'm not saying you should be there or you better be there, but I'm giving you the opportunity. So if you don't take it,
then we all talk, right?
If you don't take it, I'm just saying.
Right. Well, I'll definitely put it out to my organization. That's a good thing. I mean, ultimately, like you said, I mean, it's not, about just, knowing that we exist. I mean, kids need people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And unfortunately, I mean, Killeen, just with the high turnover, you have so many people coming in from different walks of life. Mm-hmm. The kids have to adjust a lot, on a daily. People don't understand, you have dads or mom or dad that are deployed. Even myself, always on the road for work, in and out. It's just,
right.
So mentally they have to do a lot of adjusting, and then they deal with all the things at school. So I mean, it's a very, I don't want to say stressful, but it's a pressure on kids to live in Killeen because they do have to adjust to a lot. Whereas if we go down the road to Round Rock, Texas, or Georgetown, it's not the same.
So if you all show up and some of your team shows up, tell them to wear their jerseys, their t-shirts, their whatever, because I want the little kids, the younger kids, and the kids of their age to walk over and say something to them, such as, "You play what? You do this." A lot. We need to be role models for our kids,
right.
And I'm not talking about adults because we're the worst role models for kids. First of all, we're too darn old, But when kids see kids their age group, but they're in something that's impressive to them, and they can hold the conversation that we can't hold. I can't convince a fifth grader to do anything, but if I bring somebody from middle school or high school in and they got on something interesting, they're gonna go to them real fast and say, and talk to them. If I could wear the same shirt, they'd be like, whatever, So that's important for our kids to see.
And you mentioned Eastwood, right?
Yeah.
And since it's an election year,
yes.
What are the politicians doing
for Child Abuse Awareness Day?
That and to help the kids that's in those areas,
right?
Who really want to, once they are aware who we are, are they challenging local business? Hey, sponsor these kids, come together.
I'm gonna tell you this: the lady who I just talked about earlier, she doesn't. That's her district. Coach Will looks at me like, "Wait, whoa!"
But she know about games,
right? And she's never been over there.
In the whole situation, and if she had been over there, she would know that is probably very few games over there.
She wouldn't know that. But you know what? But her book sense and her college sense would tell her there are. If you think about it, her books would tell her that that's heavily populated, but that's okay.
Okay.
So are any of the only one council person? She's actually a sitting council person, and she's running for election in District 1. She will be there, and she is attributing something to it because I told her if she does it, I'm going to put her on the list.
You're holding people hostage with your platform. I like that.
Because if we don't, if we don't, then we're in trouble. But you know what? Before we go, I need to know how anyone can reach you too.
For me, they can reach out at guardiansportsnation.com, or they can call me at 254-289-4945.
And you have Facebook, right?
And I have Facebook, and they can reach us at Killeen Cougars on Facebook, and Killeen Lady Cougars is our fan page on Facebook. And they can inbox me any questions. Please do not try and get nasty with me in public, because I will meet you where you at.
There you go. All right. Coach Jenkins?
Yeah, we can be reached at Bell County Patriots. We have a Facebook page that they can go through, check us out. We post everything that we do for our kids on there. You can also reach me at president@KilleenPatriots.org. And my phone number is 254-300-7922. That's my business line.
Because I always tell people you have to remember everybody has a smartphone, but they don't use it smartly. And if they don't use social media, is what I'm saying. They don't email, so you got to give them a phone number to reach.
And they can also come out and meet the coaches today. We have 2 locations. One, Fade Master Barbershop on Rancier. And the other one is O'Reilly's in Harker Heights. the team will be out there. The coaches will be out there. So come by and visit. If you want to know more about our program, you can ask the parents and the kids.
And then April 7th, somebody's going to show up.
And April 7th, we will be at Eastwood.
Someone's going to show up. And I encourage everyone to show up for child abuse awareness.
To include my parents.
Because to me, you have no reason not to be there.
Correct.
Because those who aren't there, I'll say you support it. Okay. Yes, I said that. But I want to thank everyone for listening to Kids Community Connections. I want to thank Coach Will and Coach Jenkins for coming on and talking about things for kids that are going on in Killeen. That, like I said, people say nothing goes on, but those are two things that's going on. And to both of them, I need to chew you out about something, because I know people who would sponsor your group, but you all haven't asked them or me. So, hey.
Well, I'm going to ask you as soon as we go off air. How about that?
And you haven't tapped them, because I know you haven't, because I've talked to them enough to find out. And you haven't. So I don't know whether you have it because you don't want to, or you haven't because you don't know who they are.
We don't know who they are.
Oh, shame on y'all. Okay. But like I said, we can fix that. We can amend that.
Yeah. And there's softball, there's Killeen Explosion.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
And there's for baseball, there's Killeen Rebels. Now,
okay.
I just found out through other people, because you asked me a couple weeks ago, and I found out, and I'm just working on the point of contact for those people.
Oh,
but
okay.
They can contact you.
Yes, they can. We need to bring them on, and and bring them on, push them out, because summer's coming in. We need our kids to be involved in everything.
And that's Coach Sloan for track, but if they're not serious about it, don't waste his time.
Because the only person I know that does track is Eric Gaither.
No, it's Coach Sloan. He's here as well.
Wait a minute, I do know him. He used to work for KISD.
Yes.
I ought to hit him. Anyway, sorry, I didn't say that. But like I said, I want to thank everyone for listening to Kids Community Connections, and I hope you took in all the information and you're going to utilize it. And I'll see you next Friday at the Eastwood for Child Abuse Awareness Day. There's no reason for you not to come, and bring your children. They need to know what it is also. But I also would like to say, to let you know, that you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.